Hey everybody, this is Lori Delk. I'm here with Send Out Cards and here with Kathy Carter. She is a real estate agent in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome, Kathy.
Thanks. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Awesome. Awesome.
Good. So I want you to tell us a little bit of like how you've been using Send Out Cards in your real estate business.
Alrighty. Yeah. So I've been a member of Send Out Cards for a few years now, and I love the platform of what it allows you to do. In my business as a realtor, really just as a business person, but I love the way that you can customize it. So for me, what I do is just send out to a lot of my past clients, and what it allows you to do is to customize the card. So I a lot of times will just go to my past clients' Facebook pages and right especially if they're having like a special event type thing in their life, maybe a birth of a child or a new puppy or anything like that, then I'll just take pictures, put it on a card, customize it with a note, and mail it out. So that's the primary way, and everybody loves the cards because they are so personalized. More than just a handwritten note is awesome, but the fact that you have pictures that are of events in their life has it just people are always call you. And the other thing I do is send out the famous brownies a lot of times. So I will attach it, with the send out cards. Of course, it allows you to send gifts. And so a lot of times I'll attach brownies with that, and 9 out of 10 times you get a phone call or you get a post on Facebook acknowledging you, which obviously is great just for PR. I mean, as business people, when you get free word of mouth, free word of mouth, kudos, that's always fantastic, especially in the social media world for sure. So yeah, that's how I've been using it mainly. And again, the other piece that I like having the CRM, the contact management system. I learned a long time ago in my business that you just gotta keep a database of people. And I mean, I don't know what the stats are right off the top of my head, but it's high. Like I think that in the NAR, National Association of Realtors, the stats are, I think 85% of the people or 87% of the people say that they would use the same agent, but it's less than 20% that do. And the reason for that is because agents are horrible about staying in contact with their people. And so, and not that I'm the best at it. I mean, I think that's something that most all business people can improve on, but send out cards allows you, again, not only to stay in touch, but stay in touch in a personal way with pictures and things that are important in their life.
Right. Yeah. And plus, like, I mean, they say that like people buy a house once every 5 to 10 years, right? Or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But still, and so I know like from what I've talked to a lot of other agents before, they kind of think, well, 5 years, they're not going to remember me anyway. But if you stay in touch, they will. But then also, like, how, if you did good business with that person, then how many of their friends and family might they, have
Refer
somebody that's
you.
going to be moving? Yeah. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And so,
I mean,
yeah.
to have the mindset of, you're hearing that from anybody, to have the mindset of, oh, they're not going to remember me in 5 years. Well, they're sure not going to if you're not staying in touch with them. That's guaranteed. So send out cards is such an easy and inexpensive way to stay in touch with people. And again, a personalized way of staying in touch with them. With the database that it allows you to have, you can set up when their birthdays are, when their home anniversary is. So a lot of times what I like to do, especially for first time home buyers, is on their first anniversary, send a picture of their house and just say, wow, can you believe it's been a year, that you've had your first house, right? And again, it's just like all that touch with a picture of the house on the front of it, their first house that obviously everybody's so proud of when people are able to buy their first house. And then to get a reminder, so to speak, or a nice card that really you as the agent remembered, like, oh my gosh, it's been a year and not that we're not staying in touch even before that, but when on the 1 year anniversary, when they get a card and it's the picture of their home on the front and just saying, wow, it's been a year. Can you believe it? It doesn't have to be a first time home buyer. That can be any buyer or any client, obviously, that you've sold a house to. It just really personalizes it.
Right. Yeah. And then the contact manager, you can sort like all the people by in different groups too, right?
Yeah.
So you can put them in different categories and you can customize those groups that work
Yeah.
for like your real estate business or anything else, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of businesses. I mean, I talk to a lot of business owners in general and a lot of entrepreneurs in general. And, the one thing that I tell people is you got to have a database. You just got to have a database. And with send out cards and it being so inexpensive, really, to be a part of, the database that you have available to you through send out cards is worth being a part of it just for that, I feel like. A lot of agents, particularly a lot of agents, but I think a lot of business people in general, they don't really know, like, where do I get a database? How do I set a database up? Right? They don't know that number one, where to do it, how to do it, but what platform to do that on. And Send Out Cards offers that as part of their program, and it's so easy to use.
Right. Yeah. And it's free with most of the packages, right?
Right.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, and you can do so many things with the organizing the contacts, and then
Yeah.
you can pull them up by like zip code, or you can search by a street or a city,
Yeah.
especially for real estate agents. I know, you guys a lot of times pull up like by zip code or by city, right? For
Yeah. Yeah.
different general areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, you can also send out cards like by group. So you pull
Yeah.
those people in a group, and then you can send a card in a group. But you
Yeah.
can even pull them up to do like a calling list, because you put their phone number in, and then you type in whatever zip code, and that's going to pull up all your contacts. Even outside of send out cards, just to see the phone numbers if you wanted
Yeah.
to start calling people,
Yeah.
like if you had an open house or something.
Yeah, and one of the things too, talking about the calling, is because you can put the dates, months when they bought the property, to just call them, on the anniversary. One thing to send the card to, but and then you can set those reminders up to remind you to send the cards, to remind you to call them. But same with birthdays, all those things. It's fantastic, I think, just as a reminder, really, and that's what a whole database or a CRM to me, where the usefulness of it comes in, is reminders to call people at certain times based on certain events that are going on, or have gone on in their lives, anniversaries, birthdays, home purchases, home sales, all those type things. And even with that, like, one card comes to mind that I sent to a client of mine. I mean, they bought a house, it's probably 8 or 10 years ago, but I saw her post on Facebook. And I stay in touch with these folks, but I saw her post on Facebook, I think it was in May, where their son had graduated kindergarten. And so she had a picture, like of the first day of school, the last day of school. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already been his first year of kindergarten. So what did I do? I took that picture, and of the first day of school, the last day of kindergarten. So they'll keep that card forever, like it's in a card format, sent a gift along with it. And actually, I sent enough, and Maddox is their name, just said, this is a gift from Maddox. And they just, again, goes on social media, but they just appreciate it. But it really comes genuine from the heart too. It's like when you see your people, your past clients living just their lives and putting it out there. When you acknowledge that, with a card and a gift on top of that, I mean, it's just, number one, genuine from me, but number two, they just appreciate it so much. Right. And I've just loved, from the beginning of my career, which has, been in real estate over 20 years, like, one of the things I was taught early on is like staying in touch with your people, right? So in the past, prior to knowing about sending out cards, it was handwritten notes or letters, things like that. And some of those, there's times and places still for that, but then adding in the opportunity with the personalized card, with send out cards. Like I said, it takes it to me a different level.
Yeah, absolutely. And then connecting with the family members, especially the kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I always say, if you spoil me, that's great. But if you spoil my kids, that tells me you really love me because you're showing my kids.
Showing the kids love, yeah. And I had another client, they got a little dog, cute little dog, of course, all over Facebook, and they had all these different pictures that were posted. Like they have 4 kids, young kids, like 10 and under, and so they had family pictures with it. And this wasn't a one day, like wasn't like they did a photo shoot, but these were just pictures that they had been posting for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a card, and so I created a card, and I did pictures. They had several pictures where individually the kids were holding the dog at one point or another, or laying down with the dog. And then they had another, like just as a family informal picture where they all were sitting around the dogs, like right in the middle of them. And so I pulled individual pictures of all 4 of the kids that had pictures with the dogs, and then I did their family picture too on the inside. And again, it was really cool, the response that, and I was just really congratulating them on the new member of the family, because they had just gotten the puppy, and it was just so cute. And then the kids themselves are so cute. But again, it's just that extra touch that it allows us to do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. Is there any one last tip that you want to give everybody for using the system?
I would just say, if you're not using it, use it. You need to definitely get on board with using it, and then maximize the database. Use the database, and maximize it, and then just pay attention, which we already all do, to its social media. Again, you can get all kinds of pictures and insight to people's lives on that, and then just utilize the program, and your clients will love you. For sure. So I say that would be my piece of advice. If you're not using it, use it, because it's a very inexpensive, and it's personalized.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with us today and spending time with us today.
You're welcome. Have an awesome day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye bye.